This story takes us back to a time when streets weren't filled with lights and villages still smelled like fresh, wet earth after the rain. In one quiet corner of such a village, under the shade of an old tree, sat a 13-year-old boy. His clothes were torn, his lips were dry, and his eyes looked lost, full of sadness. His name was Ethan. Ethan was born into a poor family. His parents worked hard every day, doing whatever small jobs they could find, just to bring home 2 meals. But one night, everything changed. A terrible flood came. The water was wild and strong. It washed away their little home, and Ethan's parents were never seen again. When the flood finally went down, Ethan stood alone. No parents, no home. No one to turn to. Just a broken boy with an empty heart. For a few days, kind villagers gave him food, but slowly, they stopped. Some people whispered, "Orphans don't have a future." Others said, "He'll survive by begging like the rest." At only 13, Ethan realized something very big. If he wanted a future, he had to build it himself. So, with nothing but hope in his heart, Ethan started walking toward the city. He thought maybe he could find work there. But the city wasn't kind. It was loud, fast, and full of people, but no one saw him. No one noticed the hunger in his stomach or the pain in his eyes. For many days, Ethan begged on the streets. But even as he held out his hands for food, his heart said, "This isn't the life I want." One night, while he sat tired and cold on the sidewalk, a middle-aged man stopped. He wore simple clothes, but his eyes were calm and kind. "Son," the man asked gently, "why are you sitting here like this?" Ethan looked down and replied quietly, "I have nowhere to go. I have nothing. What else can I do?" The man looked at him for a while and said, "Do you know that life helps those who help themselves? If you're willing, I can show you a better path." Ethan was surprised. Why would a stranger help him? But something about the man's voice felt warm, like safety. With soft courage, he asked, "Who are you?" "My name is Mr. Carson," he said. "I work at a small store nearby. If you want, you can come with me and learn something better than begging." Ethan had nothing to lose. He stood up and followed him. Mr. Carson took Ethan to a small shop that sold snacks, sweets, and daily items. "You can work here," he said. "But remember, hard work needs patience, and honesty is everything." From the next day, Ethan started working. At first, he swept the floors and washed dishes. His hands were sore, and his legs ached. But at the end of the day, Mr. Carson gave him $5 and a warm sandwich. It wasn't much, but it was his. He had earned it. That sandwich was the first meal that tasted like hope. "This is just the start," Mr. Carson said. Slowly, he learned to talk to customers, count money, and manage the shelves. He wasn't just cleaning anymore, he was learning. One day, while Mr. Carson was away, a customer came in. "Can I get 1 pound of sugar?" the man asked. Ethan froze. He had never done this before alone. But he took a deep breath, weighed the sugar, and handed it over. When Mr. Carson returned and heard about it, he smiled proudly. "You're learning fast, Ethan. Keep this up and you'll go far." For the first time, Ethan felt capable, like maybe he could build a real life. But life tests even the brave. One busy day, Ethan made a mistake. He gave the wrong item to a customer. The man got angry and complained. The shop owner scolded Ethan. Hurt and ashamed, Ethan thought, "Maybe I'm not meant for anything big." Mr. Carson noticed his sadness. He sat beside him and said, "Son, failure doesn't mean it's the end. Real strength is standing up again after you fall. Those words lit a spark in Ethan's heart. From that day, Ethan worked harder than ever. He asked questions, learned faster, and took on more responsibility. One day he asked, "Do you think I can open my own shop someday?" Mr. Carson smiled. "If you stay honest, work hard, and don't give up, anything is possible." Ethan didn't have money, but he had experience and trust. Now he needed to save. He took on another job, helping a vegetable seller early in the mornings and late evenings. Rain or shine, Ethan worked from sunrise to night. His feet hurt, but his heart grew stronger. Every coin he saved felt like a step toward freedom. After a few years, he saved enough to buy a small tea and snack cart. With permission, he set it up beside the shop. On the first day, as he poured tea into cups, his eyes filled with tears. This wasn't just tea, it was the taste of struggle, strength, and faith. People loved his tea. Slowly, a crowd began to gather. The boy who once begged now had his own business. Mr. Carson came to visit and said, "Look at what you've built, son. This is your destiny, made by your own hands." Ethan touched his feet. "You changed my life," he said softly. In time, Ethan's cart became a small restaurant. He bought a little home, but he didn't stop there. He began teaching other poor kids how to work, save, and dream. "If you work hard, you'll never go hungry," he told them. One night, Ethan sat outside his restaurant. Across the street, he saw the same old sidewalk where he once begged. This time his eyes filled with tears of pride. He had built a new life with his own hands. Your life doesn't change by waiting, it changes when you decide to change it. Start small, stay honest, and never give up. Like Ethan, if you work hard and believe in yourself, life will reward you. Because the success you earn is the success that stays forever.